I'm 55 and I'm on the scrap heap again. I have been wondering about making this video for a while. I'm really not sure about whether I want to go through with it or even if I'm going to publish it, but I think it's important. It might help some of you out there and it might even help me. So let's get into it. About a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I made a video saying, get rid of your boss. And I still stand by that. I was trying to advise and help some others, maybe that younger people, that perhaps if you've got the opportunity to go through life without a boss, if you've got a chance, because at some point they will always fuck you over. They will. And I said that because it happened to me after being 12 years with one company. And then I got a job. And guess what? They did it again. I have no idea where this conversation is going to go. I just want to, I guess, vent a little bit and express how I feel at the moment, which is not in a great place. You know, when you're 55 and you've been chucked on the scrap heap again, it's tough, man. It's really tough, you know. The world out there is getting harder. It should be getting easier as you get older in life, but it doesn't always work that way, does it? Apparently, I thought it would. You know, you work hard, you get somewhere, you make some progress, or you try to, and then things start to level off. They get a little bit easier, bit by bit, and you start to wind down, relax a little bit. But instead, the state on this country means that you just have to work harder. You have to try harder. You have to start again. You have to reinvent yourself again. And you know what? That just gets harder and more tiring as time goes on. It's not your jacket, is it?
No, it's not.
Here, look, little green jacket,
Oh, no,
dog jacket.
No, it's not. Thank you, though.
Okay. Well, there must be something about this spot. This is the very spot that I started that last video last year. Get rid of your boss. You don't need a boss. Of course, you will need a boss at some point in life, you know, getting a job, guiding you through getting started. You might need a bit of that, unless you're one of the very lucky ones who manages to get through life without having a boss somehow. I have no possible idea how that can happen, but when you've got one, there's a good chance that somehow or other something will go wrong, and then you might not get any warning when that's going to come, and then they can just pull the plug and it's all over, just like that. This year when it's happened to me, all over again, nothing. 1 week, done. And it's terrifying, actually. It's scary because when you're young, you can bounce back a lot, you know. You can go back out there, start looking for jobs. People want people in their 30s and stuff, or 40s maybe even, you know, with plenty of years left in them to get a job and do the work. But as you get in your 50s, that gets harder, I think. And that's what I've come to realize, because I bounced back a lot years ago. But at the moment, it's much harder to do that for a number of reasons. One, the bouncing back process takes time and energy from yourself. Now, I'm pretty young of mind and energetic and all that, but when you do it so many times in your life, it's like, I thought I was done with all this. I thought this whole reinventing yourself and starting again was kind of over, and I could just settle a little bit now and just relax a bit and, you know, go through life a bit easier. But all of a sudden, you've got to start again, dig deep, revisit yourself, and reinvent yourself. It's bloody tough, you know. It's really tough. And the problem with this sort of thing is it gives you confidence a bit old, good old knock, you know. And that makes it hard, you know. And let's have a little seat here on this bench. That bench, in fact. Fancy walking through the mud. I've got to find a way out of this rat race. Somehow. A year ago, I was starting my new YouTube channel, Scuzzy London. It's on the other side. And I thought, great, ever the optimist. 6 months, 9 months, and I'll be up and running. And I'll be, you know, a little bit of money might be trickling in. It might take 9 months. Maybe it'll take a year. Yeah, right. Then I very quickly realized this is going to take a lot more than a year. never mind, I've committed to it. I'm still working on it. Feel free to go over there, give it a look, give it a like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Anyway, it was not the golden egg I thought it was going to be. But with my tenacity, I'm going to stick at it anyway, regardless. You don't get a year into something, or nearly a year, just to pack it in. You've got to give it a good go. So I didn't know this was coming at that time, but I was setting it up in the background. And now I've got to start again. 55, no money coming in, at a bit of a loss, don't know what to do, bit depressed. I have my up and down days. I'm not in a terrible position. There are people out there in much worse positions, I know. It doesn't help. Oh, you want me to throw that for you? Oh, there's the slow one bringing up the rear. Ball games are over. You know what I'd love to do? I would love to completely change direction. Again, 55, how did this happen? Creeps up on you, you know? If you keep yourself fit, you feel young all the time, which is brilliant. Also has its downsides, because you think you're young all the time, and you're not. People look at you and your CV, maybe, I know they shouldn't do this, but they do, and they think, oh, yeah, great, but we're only going to get a few more years out of him or something, or who knows what they think. At the end of the day, if somebody else is 30 or 35 or even 40 and they're going for the same job, what are the chances they're going to get it instead? Especially if it's something physical. Where was I going with that? There's ADHD when you get yourself distracted all the time. Because if that's the case, I've bloody well got it. So what is the big problem for me? The big problem is the sense of loss and loss of direction, emptiness, of not being part of something, not doing something to help myself. You know, not working is it's a terrible feeling if you're used to it, if that's what you know, if you're a worker, and you should be really. Never been one of those to sit around and sit on the dole, or even just saying it just fills me full of dread. I'm at a real crossroads and I don't know how to change direction really. It's really difficult. I feel like this is an opportunity in a way that I could do something with. In an ideal world, I would not have a boss, and I would have multiple streams of income. I'd be selling some photography on the picture libraries, which I do. I'd have a successful YouTube channel that was working. Scuzzy London, check that out. It's a lot more positive than this. None of this stuff on there. Maybe not the right niche that. I might have just misjudged that niche, but there you go. I'd need 3 or 4 streams of income. That would be an ideal situation for me. You'd get variety, creativity, you know, you could be pursuing things you love, therefore you'd be enthusiastic about them. You wouldn't be working for the man, you'd be working for yourself, in control of your own destiny. Ah, sounds like heaven. I'm trying to make that work. I'm really trying to make that work. But it's harder, the competition is massive out there. I see all these YouTube videos and they bother me a bit because it's people talking about, oh, this side hustle, that side hustle, make $10,000 a day, whatever, make $8,000 a day. It's all bullshit, I'm sure it is. You know, are these people real? Are they just going for the clickbait stuff? I don't know if I believe all that. And I just don't see how it's possible, unless I'm just not doing it right. But let this be a warning to some of you as well, because if I just think back 5 years, 5 little years, right? Life was good, man. Life was so good. I was in a household, 2 good incomes coming in. We were taking 2 to 3 decent foreign holidays a year. Proper ones as well, you know, not messing about. Car hire and adventures. Just a few years ago, that was. And it just goes to show that if you're not careful, all of that can come crashing down pretty quickly. If you're one of these people, one of these lucky people to be in a big corporation with a good job, and I've said this to a few people I know lately, look after it, keep hold of it. You know, I know I'm saying get rid of your boss, but if you're in a secure role, secure place, and you know that you are, don't take that lightly. You know, you've got something special there. Those of us I've been flying by the seat of my pants for the last 20 years, somehow or other. I've managed to get into one job, get into another job, and sort of make them last between them the best part of 20 years, somehow. How the hell did I do that? But every time it was like, how long is this going to last? How long is this going to last? And eventually I was right. It didn't last. So if you've got one of those rock solid secure jobs and you know it is, make the most of it, really. Put the money away, bang it in your pension, do some good investments, lock it up in a high interest savings account, whatever it takes, you know. Put things away for the future, because you never know, you really do never know what's going to happen. I can tell you that now. I never saw this coming. And don't worry, just because I'm here in the graveyard doesn't mean I'm having any funny thoughts. Although I can imagine how, you know, some people, if they get to this stage and they're in a much, much worse place than me, I can sort of see how that can happen, you know. Poor buggers. I mean, you must be thinking, is there an easier way? Is there a way out of this? I'm not saying anybody should ever think like that, but I can see how some might have those sort of terrible thoughts. Look at that, all these headstones, all kind of square, as in a line facing that way. And all these are at like 45 degrees angle facing that way. And I see, yeah, they're all Turkish names. Anyway, I'm trying for this not to be a sort of depressing video, to be honest. He says, coming from a graveyard. Oh, Jesus. Right, I'm trying for this not to be a depressing video, despite the fact that I'm in a graveyard. I see there's still some humour in there somewhere. Yeah, he's still in there, he's still inside somehow. Thing is, shit happens, man. Jobs get lost, plugs get pulled when you least expect it, and it's pretty goddamn crap when it happens, I'm telling you now. You feel crap, you feel low, you feel worthless, you feel useless, and you feel, quite honestly, vulnerable and scared, because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm pretty terrified. To be honest, my confidence has taken a massive hit, and I don't even know if I want to go back to it, and that's probably why. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm confused, I'm lost, I'm at a crossroads in life once again. I'm so bloody tired of being in these life's crossroads. They're flipping exhausting. You know, you just want to just coast on through. I didn't carve out a career early on in life. I just sort of chanced my way through it, really. And there's this life biting me back and saying, you know, you should have picked something and stuck with it and done a boring job for all of your life. Tough. You know, I lived a hell of a life. It's been great. It's taken a few chances, and you got to take some risks, haven't you? Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to just take some chances and, I don't know, try something completely different. It doesn't help when you're a bit of an introvert, you know. I'm not the most outgoing, I'm not a salesman. I'm not that sort of guy. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Watch the space. In case you're wondering, I do have a partner. She's amazing, very supportive. So that really helps. It's a very, very, very confusing situation that I'm not going to go into here. God, yeah, I'll skip that bit. Anyway, don't worry, there's no affairs or anything like that going on. It's all above board. How did you get out of this situation? How did you get yourself out of a really difficult spot? If you were in your 50s, particularly want to hear from you. Did you go from losing a good job suddenly to being out with nothing else? Did you feel worthless, useless? Did you feel like you were on the scrap heap? Were you one of those men that, you know, thought you were sorted, and then suddenly to realize the rug was pulled from underneath you once again? How did you get out of that spot? Let me know. I'd love to know. Could do with a few pointers right now. So throw some comments down below if you've got any ideas or any tips to give me or words of wisdom, because this is pretty tough, I'll be honest. It feels a little different this time. And I tell you what, I've just realized something else. It's not only happened to me, it's happened to a good friend of mine, almost at exactly the same time. I think there's something really odd happening in this country. Well, certainly around this year, things feel different. And I can't put my finger on it. It's really quite strange. There's a different feel about something that's going on in the country right now. I'm getting a different vibe. Have you got any ideas? Am I right? Do you feel the same thing? Do you feel that things have changed at the moment? Is something really different about the feel of the UK? Is it to do with the Labour government? I ain't going there, I haven't got a clue. Anyway, let me know down below if you think there's anything different about the atmosphere of the country at the moment, because I think there is. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. If nothing else, maybe it'll help some of you. I don't know quite how it can do, but if nothing else, it might have helped me to have someone to talk to about this. You might not be there in person, but some of you will be listening, and some of you may be nodding along, going, yeah. I don't expect you to like and subscribe to this channel because it's not my main channel. It's a fun channel where I dump some of my thoughts and things like that. But what you can do, if you really want to help, you can go across to scuzzylondon.com. I'll put a link down below. Have a look at that stuff. That's me trying to build a proper channel and do it the right way, a different style. Cycling in London and walking around the country. It's something different, but I'm hoping to get there with that. That's my main goal. If you can do anything with that, I'd be super grateful. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for now. I will see you on the next one sometime at some point. Hopefully with a lot better news. Who knows? I'll let you know. See ya.